What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Wellthy Stocks back with another NIO update video where we'll take a look at how NIO stock traded today, some key support and resistance levels that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think NIO stock could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit the like button down below and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out as I'm trying to grow, and it takes you like 5 seconds, so I'd appreciate it if you could do that. Comment down below what your thoughts on NIO are, as always, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. So let me hit record and we will get right into it. So as we can see, we are down about $1.37 on the day, which is about 2.35%. We are up a little bit in the after hours, so if we count that right, a little less than a 2% loss, more like a 1.5% loss. But when we go to, the major indexes, we're talking NASDAQ being down 2%, the Dow Jones being down 626 points, which is 2%, and then the S&P also being down 2%, right? The fact that NIO is down is not super surprising. I mean, it's pretty in line with the major indexes, but the key thing that we want to see is this pattern that we saw developing and how it held that bottom line really, really well. So we'll take a look at that as well. And then we'll also take a look at a price upgrade that it got, I believe, earlier today. So we will take a look at the daily price action, and then we will get right into kind of that pattern and everything we see there, right? So right out of the gate, yesterday we closed at this 58 level, pushed up a little in the after hours, hitting up against this 60 mark, gap down just a little bit, and then we were, pushing up into the open. And then if we take a look at, how the rest of the day went, it was kind of nasty looking, right? So if we take a look here, we were going above, below, above, below, above, below, but pretty much always getting rejected by this $60 level. As you can see, even the times we made it for a couple minutes, right, we came right back down here, 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 and other times, right, like here and here, we didn't even make it before kind of turning back around. So overall weakness, that was kind of the general consensus of the market, right? The market looked pretty heavy, relatively weak. So if we keep going here, right, what happened was we hung out here for a little bit and then we pushed down. We were hoping for a bounce at the 58 level here, but we actually didn't get a bounce there. We dropped all the way to 56.44, which actually was only about 8 cents away from our level, right? So if you were looking out for the same level from the video, right, what you saw was a bounce as we sort of were expecting. I mean, we were expecting a bounce here as well, but it was clear it wasn't stopping there. So moving on to the next one, right, 56.44, we got the bounce. 56.36 is where we were expecting the bounce. So about 8 cents away from our expectations, not too bad overall, right? So then we pushed up and we were in between these two kind of levels of ours. And now in the after hours, we're starting to push up. Again, I like NIO stock and I've talked about it a lot, but I want to kind of reiterate this. Morgan Stanley adjusts NIO's price target to 80 from 33. What an upgrade, and reiterates their overweight rating, right, which is good news for NIO stock. That's good news number one. Good news number two is that this pattern is still valid, right? Even though we saw that nasty looking deep fall, in the kind of halfway point of the day, we are still good. And what level am I talking about? It's this bottom line coming up. So as I talked about, right, I think that NIO is starting to trade in a bull pennant, which means that it's going to start making lower highs and also make higher lows, and eventually, right, I don't even know what I'm doing with my hands here, but eventually, right, it'll get so narrow that it'll start to get to the end of that and then hopefully see a little bit of a breakout, right? That's what I'm hoping for. We'll see if that, consensus is true. So far though, what we saw was a bounce. So even on a red day like this, we saw a nice bounce off of that level. I mean, perfectly off of that line from yesterday. Did dip below it a little bit yesterday, but closed above it, right? So this pattern is still valid. What I'm looking for NIO to do is spend a little bit of time consolidating between this 56 and 63 range, trading either going up next like we did kind of here, hitting up against this, or, what we had happen a day here or 2 days there, where after we hit up, took a little bit of consolidation. But ultimately our goal is to kind of breakout at the end of it, right? And that's what matters the most. So as long as it's not going below this range, above this range, not necessarily as being bad, right? But for this pattern to still be valid, we could see that happening. We saw similar patterns develop in Tesla that I called out and Palantir that I called out, both of which resulted in decent breakouts. So that's why I like monitoring this very closely. Now, I'm not saying that it can't break out until, you know, these two lines get super close, right? With Palantir, we saw the breakout a couple days before we were expecting it. We saw it happen, you know, probably when I thought there were a couple days left. But look, here the top level is 63, right? I shared that level with Palantir as well. So once it went above that level, we knew that the breakout had started. So 63 would be a good level to watch if we see it pushing up, to see if we get rejected, or, you know, how it acts at that level as well. So let's talk about future levels of support and resistance for the stock, and then we'll kind of see what we can see. So right here, what we have is we are right here in the 56.98, pretty much $57, right? We are at $57. If we start to push down again, the first level that I'm looking at is this 56.30s level, right? That we have kind of drawn for us here. And then the next level that we have is this 54.66 level. So 56 kind of high 30s, right? And then 54.66 on the downside. Remember that this 56 level here is also the 21 EMA. And I think that that is going to be a good level of support for us as well, like we saw it hold today, right? If we take a look at the 21 EMA, it was at 56.48, and our low point for today was 56.44, so 4 cents off from that 21 EMA. So I do think if we dip below that 56.40s level should be good support because it's a 21 EMA. If we start to push up, what am I watching? I'm watching this 58.39 level that we have seen, you know, and previously hold up as a little bit of a support and resistance. So since we're going to be going up, watching that for a resistance, and then watching that $60 level next to see how it acts when it hits that 60. As you saw today, right? I talked about it a little bit at the beginning. That 60 level, we were not able to hold for too long. So watching to see how that goes. And then after 60 clears us for this line right here, which is in the 63s right now, where we'll see if we get rejected or if we see a little bit of a breakout depending on how it acts at that level. So overall, not a bad week for NIO. I actually took the time today to add a little bit to my NIO position at kind of at the 57s or 56s level, high 56, I think it was where I kind of added a couple, not a couple, I added some shares to my position because I am long-term bullish on NIO, hoping for a push to 80. Again, not saying that that's all NIO is going to do. I think one of you guys misinterpreted that, hoping for a push to NIO sometime this year. Not saying that that's all it's going to do. Hopefully in the first half of 2021, I'm hoping for that push to 80. And then hopefully maybe we see, you know, 100 by the end of the year as well. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep making videos, hopefully keep you guys posted. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy these videos. It helps me out and recommends this to other people who might be interested. Comment down below what your trade plan with NIO is, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.